In this section, we looked at blocks in Python and saw how the level of indentation is crucial in determining which block a line of code belongs to. We then used if and else to test conditions and only execute blocks of code if those conditions were either true or false. We created more complex conditions and saw how to use elif to check several conditions in turn. Next, we moved on to execute blocks of code repeatedly using loops. The first type of loop we used was the for statement. It's used to iterate through a range of values. For is used when you know in advance how many times you want to go round the loop. Next, we looked at while loops. They're used to loop as long as a condition is true. While loops are generally used when you don't know in advance how many times the loop should execute. We covered continue and break to interrupt the normal flow of a for loop, and else to define a block that always executes if the loop finishes without break. So this is a different use of the else keyword to how it's used in an if statement, which is unfortunate and can be confusing, but that's the keyword that was chosen. A couple of videos weren't related to Python loops. We digressed to look at augmented assignment and why you should use it in preference to a normal assignment. We also discussed PEP 8 and the style of your Python code. So we'll finish this section now with a short challenge just to give you a chance to practice what you've learnt in the course so far. You'll have a chance to make use of the string formatting that we covered in previous videos, as well as reading in input that a user types at the keyboard. You'll also get a chance to practice using if to execute code depending on a condition. So your challenge is to write a program to print a number of options and allow the user to select an option from the list. The options should be numbered from 1 to 9, although you can use less than 9 options if you want. Make sure that there are at least 4 options. As an example, your program might look like the following. So as you can see in this example, we've got a heading at the top, we've got 5 options and a final option also added, which is 0 to exit the program. So the program should continue looping, allowing the user to choose one of the options each time around. And the loop should only terminate when the user chooses 0. If the user makes a valid choice, the program should print a short message, and the message should include the value that they typed. Don't print a different message for each choice. The only thing that should change is the number they typed. Although you could print out the description, I want to show you a much better way of doing that later. We're keeping this simple because there's lots of things that we still haven't covered yet. Now, if their choice isn't one of the options in the menu, nothing should be printed, although you can still see their input on the screen. That's an optional extra. Modify the program so that the menu is printed again if they choose an invalid option. Be careful with that one. You may start off by duplicating the code to print the menu, but it's possible to write the program without duplicating the print lines. So that's a challenge. See how you go with that, and in the next video, we'll go through the solution. See you in that next video.